Hello Bookles, my name is Cam and welcome to another video. In the spirit of this fantastic day that we call Valentine's Day, I thought I might do a bit of a romance-themed video, but it was a bit tricky coming up with something that wasn't creepy anyway. This video might still be creepy. Let's see how we go. Well anyway, this is 5 characters from books that I would date. You ready for this? Roll the intro. Let's talk about some damn books, dude. So before I go into it, I just want to touch on my Valentine's Day because in Australia we've actually already had it. And I want to clear up some confusion. There's rumours going around that I had no Valentine and I had no prospect of a Valentine. Guys, come on. My phone was practically blowing up all day. Everyone was, Oh yeah? Yeah? Oh, where's your Valentine then, bro? Fuck off. Everyone was contacting me.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Oh, Cam, will you be my Valentine? No, please be my Valentine. Oh, it's just such a hassle, you know what I mean? Ultimately, I spent the day on my own because I wanted to, and it was a choice, and I'm not bitter, and yeah. Fuck you. Shut up, I'm not bitter. Let's get into it. Number 1. Number 1 is Miss Honey from Matilda, and I know what you're thinking. Cam, she's a bit old for you, isn't she? She's a bit out of your league. Well, hey, I didn't say this is 5 book characters that I could date. It's 5 that I would. You've been lawyered. I'm sure I don't need to tell you how great Miss Honey is. She is practically the best person you will find in the book Matilda. Aside from Matilda herself. Maybe even still with that in mind. Like her name, Miss Honey is just the pure embodiment of sweetness. She's just so sweet that there is no point where she is a bad, sinister, or malicious person. Even towards the villain herself, Miss Trunchbull or Principal Trunchbull. Even when it came to her, the villain, who bullied Miss Honey through her entire life and even physically assaulted her, she still didn't really say anything bad about Miss Trunchbull. She's just purely sweet, and I feel like having someone like that as a partner would just be... You couldn't get angry. Some of that limitless joy would have to rub off on you in some way or another. And hey, for a woman much older than myself, she's pretty dang alright looking, so... You know, I find myself doing that eyebrow thing in a lot of my videos. I feel like that's not something that should be that common on a booktube channel. Maybe I am creepy. Nope. It's one rabbit hole I'm not going down. Next up, number 2 is Arwen from Lord of the Rings. I know I'm no Aragorn, but damn. Aside from being a really endearing character in the book, or books, she's also really well portrayed in the movies as well. She's not portrayed as much as she should be, but she is still there and portrayed well by Steven Tyler's daughter. I'm not too familiar with her name, I just know that she's the daughter of Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. She was in Armageddon as well, playing Bruce Willis's daughter. Anyway, I'm getting off track. So Arwen is an elf with the elves, and she is basically in love with Aragorn, who is a human. A human who can live a lot longer than normal humans. I think is it the Dunedain? I think that's the race that he belongs to. So they can live longer than most humans, but at the end of the day, he is still a normal man. And basically, during the story, she's torn between going back to her homeland to live with her family and her race, where she would be immortal, or staying so that she can be with Aragorn and ultimately outlive him inevitably and have to deal with him dying, if he survived the war that they were a part of during this story. And she barely gave it any thought at all. She decided flat out that she was going to stay, and that kind of sacrifice and that kind of undying romance is something I'm super envious of. I'm a bit old school romantic as far as it goes, and again, Arwen's pretty easy on the eyes. Yeah, I'm sorry, Éowyn. If anyone out there is Team Éowyn, another woman who wanted to get with Aragorn in the story, I'm Team Arwen all the way. Next up, number 3 is Miss Marvel, or more specifically Kamala Khan, which is, I believe, the newest incarnation of Miss Marvel from Marvel Comics. And I should probably state preemptively that I'm talking about the later version of Kamala Khan, obviously not when she's first introduced, because that would be super wrong and creepy. But Miss Marvel, or Kamala, basically she goes through a pretty classic superhero origin story of having to suffer hardships and persecution and all this kind of stuff that would drag any normal person down. But unlike a lot of other superheroes, or mopey superheroes who tend to drag their feet around a lot, even characters like Peter Parker or Spider-Man, she keeps a positive outlook on everything, always. She has this super quirky personality. She is just goofy as hell, to the point where it's awkward for her in most cases. Kind of like a Zooey Deschanel, I guess, in a way. But yeah, super quirky, super positive, always has some awesome kind of view, glass half full view on every single thing that happens. Plus the powers are a massive plus. I mean, yeah, who's gonna fuck with you if you're hanging around with Miss Marvel? Number 4, and I know that you knew she was gonna be on here, Hermione Granger. Of course I had to put Hermione on here. I mean, it's Hermione Granger. As I'm sure most people can relate to and understand, I feel like I grew up with Hermione Granger, much like Harry and Ron. I was basically at the age that they were when the books were being released, which is really, really cool. I was born in 1993, so yeah, I was about the same age, if not the same age, every time the book came out. So as they progressed or grew up, I grew up, and in a way, even though she's a fictional character, I saw her develop into this woman, which is just, yeah. You guys already know, I'm not going to go into too much detail explaining it, but Hermione is basically a badass bitch who isn't going to take shit. And that's only made more impressive by knowing that at the start she was the complete opposite. That, a badass is more impressive when they weren't always a badass. Plus, if she looks anything at all like Emma Watson. Can we just agree that Emma Watson is probably one of the, if not the most attractive female celebrity out there? I mean, damn. Let's be realistic. I still wouldn't have a chance, even if that was a real scenario. Hermione's way out of my league. Number 5, and lastly, is Ramona Flowers. You've heard me talk of her before. This was one of my first book crushes. And man, I crushed hard. I remember reading the Scott Pilgrim, comic books, and just being so infatuated with this character. And you know how you might develop a crush on cartoon characters in certain situations? They usually at least look a bit realistic. Scott Pilgrim it looks more like a video game than a real life kind of animated adaptation, so it's a bit odd to think about. But yeah, I had a massive crush on Ramona's personality and her quirks when I was reading the books, and then when the movie was made, I just fell head over heels. The actress who did Ramona Flowers is just drop dead gorgeous, nailed the quirks, and I was just, yeah. Whew. And hey, even if I have to do the 7 evil exes thing just to get a date with her, I would do it. Shit, I'll fight 14 evil exes. I'll fight 21. I don't give a shit. Just give me a chance. Anyway, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I figured I would do some kind of Valentine's themed video, and I don't have any girlfriend I can bring in here to show you or show off to you, so this is pretty much the best I can do. Fictional characters. This isn't really a tag video, but if for any reason you want to do this video, by all means go ahead, knock yourself out. If you liked the video, show me some love, give it a thumbs up. Let me know which fictional character you wish you could take on a Valentine's Day in the comments below. All my social media links are down there. If you haven't already, join the Wolfpack and subscribe, and if you are in the Wolfpack, I'll see you in the next video. Catch ya!